Now, this is a very difficult topic to discuss because there has not been a large-scale war where we needed the draft since Vietnam. And it was so horribly criticized that it would be very difficult for them to bring it back up. Especially once again for another war on foreign soil for a country that didn't attack us. So right now, everything is a hypothetical. I went through some articles on the topic which weren't very clear, so I eventually went to ChatGPT because that not only searches all different articles on the web, but also gives a pretty concise outlook as to the hypothetical situations. As we all know at this moment at least, there could not be a draft reinstatement unless Congress made a law and passed it, and then Trump signed it, or if the Selective Service was activated. But the thing is, in my opinion, it doesn't really seem like a draft is likely. But that's mostly because, like they say in this little snippet here, depending on the situation, it's not even really a feasible option. Because if you have, like we did with Iraq, where you have proxy wars and you have little things and little pockets going on all over the place in certain areas, that's what our military is mostly handling. If it developed into a large-scale or world war, that's when we enter into draft territory. However, once you enter into World War territory, that's when you start worrying about nuclear war. And in nuclear war, even though right here they say it's much more likely, I have also seen several other sources that say at that point, if nuclear war breaks out, a draft is actually much less likely, because at that point, society breaks down and people are more worried about survival than actually trying to expand the military. So basically, the only way they would really be able to reinstate a draft is if this happened on a large-scale conflict with multiple countries. But something like that could quickly progress to nuclear war, in which case, draft is pointless. People like myself have said in the past, fuck it, I'd just rather be a conscientious objector, but if people refuse en masse to be conscripted, they're going to use the people in the prisons first. And if people on a small scale refuse, then those people will end up going to prison. However, if millions of people refuse to be conscripted, that's when the whole thing breaks down. Mass non-compliance would put pressure on Congress to repeal the draft, and would also spark large-scale protests like during Vietnam. So basically, if they ever tried reinstating a draft, it would take millions of us to instantly put the kibosh on it. But once again, we've seen in this country that apathy affects way too many people. And right now, bringing the United States people together is like herding cats. So it really depends on if we were all fed up enough to say no.